Now, what I want to do now is I'm going to share with you a document, and I mentioned this the other day when I was teaching. We are seeing more and more auctions, and there was a time when the auctions were so prevalent back in 2009, 2010. Back then it was auctions.com, then it became 10x. And I met the guys who owned auctions.com and subsequently 10x. I said, like, why did you choose the name 10x? Were you like Grant Cardone proteges? And they said, no. We had nothing to do with him. This was just, we came up with this idea, and that's the one we ran with. I said, oh, all right, that's interesting. But back then 10x was going crazy. Now they're starting back up again, and especially with hotels. We're seeing so many hotels go to auction. Some of them are perfect for multifamily conversions. Some of them not so much. So it's important that you really understand how these auctions work, and really the pitfalls that you need to be aware of. Obviously, as an attorney, I'm always, I'm here to tell you how you're going to get screwed, to protect you, make sure it doesn't happen. And we just went through a borderline went through an auction process. We got right up to the day of the auction and decided to pass on bidding. Wrote a letter to the bank that owned it, said this is why we decided not to do it. But the thing is, we had made an offer on the property. This is kind of an interesting point. We made an offer on the property before they decided to take it to auction. So we submitted a bid of $500,000, sight unseen. We hadn't seen the property. We looked at the area, through all the different mechanisms you can use to look at the area, and we decided, okay, the size of the property, projected what we have to do, $500,000. We submitted that to an LOI to the bank. And I spoke to the bank officer, and he said, yeah, you know what, we're going to take it to the market, and we're going to go out at auction. Okay, all right, so good luck to you. He says, you are free to bid whatever you want, and we're good to go. And so as we started going through the process, the auctioneer starts saying, I can tell you right now, folks, we've already had an offer on this property for $500,000. So that is our floor. And I'm thinking to myself, they took our offer to set the bar for everybody. And what would they have done if we'd said $250,000? But we said $500,000, and now he's asking us, or they're asking everybody, to start at $500,000 and go up from there. Well, during the process, they had a walkthrough. We had a walkthrough, and so we finally got to see what we were going to be buying for $500,000. And you know what? We paid too much. There was a lot of stuff wrong with that particular property, and we're all glad that it didn't happen. And then as we went through it, we started talking to the people at the city, and we decided that because of the purchasing structure of this transaction, meaning an auction, and how an auction is set up to work, it would not be in our best interest to go through an auction. So we decided not to bid. We sent over a letter to the bank saying, thank you very much, great meeting you. If things don't go as planned, please, please give us a call back, and we'll see if we can work it out. And I want to show you in writing where in the contract for these auctions you need to be looking, and the wording you need to see in that contract that is going to get you into big trouble. All right. Now I'm going to try to, Molly, gosh, Molly is the best assistant in the world. I didn't even have to do anything. And here it is. Okay, Molly, you're in control of this right now. Can you zoom it up a little bit? Yeah, there we go. Can you, make it a little bit bigger by chance? Yes, no, maybe so. Or is that me? Do I have to click this? No. Cancel that. Okay, so here's what I want y'all to see. I think I'm in control too. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's not the one. All right, so here's what you're looking for. So the way this offer works is you make an offer, you put up 10% of the purchase price as earnest money. You got to put in a kicker in there for the seller. I mean, to pay the auctioneer. So, yeah, okay, thanks, Malls. It's not like I can share my screen and use my version of it. I wonder if we could do that. Let me see. Is there a present, share screen? Yeah. All right. So, folks, here's what I want you to see. So we've got about 50 grand in there. Now, typically, the thing you have to look out for is that everybody always thinks that the earnest money deposit is all you're going to have at risk. If you don't perform, you lose the earnest money. Okay? That's not true. What you have to be looking for in these contracts is the events of default. What is considered an event of default by the seller? Like if I don't perform, they get to keep my money. But what means I don't perform? Well, you have to look under the events of default. It's not like if I just don't buy it. There are other things too, and there are exceptions to those events of default. That's why we have a whole section on events of default. The thing that you're looking for here is the remedies of the defaults. Let me say it again. The remedies of the events of default. What does the seller, the bank, get to do to me if I don't perform? And that's the part where you're going to get caught. Let me flip through this. It's on this particular case, it's right here under section 15, default, purchaser's default. At seller's option, exercised in its sole discretion, the purchaser shall be in default under the terms of this contract if, in addition to any other default specified herein, the purchaser shall fail to close, fail to timely make any payment, fail to appear at the time and place designated, fail to enter into the escrow agreement described herein, and then if the seller declares that I am in default pursuant to the terms herein listed, or a purchaser fails or refuses to carry out any other obligation of the purchaser under the terms of this contract. So if I say, whoa, I'm not paying $500,000 for this property. This thing's a dog. I'm getting out tomorrow. If I decide to do that, then the purchaser otherwise defaults under any provision hereof, then at the seller's option exercised in its sole discretion, the contract will be terminated, and upon notice to purchaser, the earnest money shall belong solely to the seller, without any consent being required by purchaser to retain as liquidated damages, except to the extent of any amount that is due and payable to the auctioneer. He gets his money in accordance with the exclusive agreement for auctioneering services between the seller and the auctioneer. Purchaser acknowledges that the actual amount of damages that would be incurred by the seller and auctioneer as a result of purchaser's default would be difficult or impossible to ascertain, and that the earnest money represents a reasonable estimate of such damages under the circumstances. In addition to the foregoing, and this is where it gets very sketchy. This is the part that made me say, we're not buying this property. In addition, let me see where I'm. Notwithstanding anything contained here, nothing contained. Hold on, now I just lost my place. To ascertain is reasonable. In addition to the foregoing, seller may also elect to assert against the purchaser any other remedy available in equity. Period. Okay, that one sentence, folks. That's what you're going to be looking for whenever you look at these contracts. These contracts that are written by the seller, that are used in an auction, where you have to put your money up and take it or leave it. You have to understand what the remedies of the default are. Okay, right. Okay, so listen, let me take Todd's question one more time. Why are you liable? You're liable because you entered into a contract that put your company at risk, put you and all your partners at risk, because you had to put up $50,000 in as earnest money, and then you had to perform. And the thing says, if you don't perform, they have actions that they can take against you, Todd. So you then become liable for any and all of the actions in the contract that they say they're going to do. In other words, the remedies of default. You think, because everything I just read up to that point all talked about the earnest money deposit being the liquidated damages amount that you have to be responsible for. And then you think you just walk away. Didn't work out. We lost $50,000. But there's that one line in there, Todd. Yep, John, that one line that says, in addition to the foregoing, the seller may also elect to assert against the purchaser any other remedies available in equity. You see, liquidated damages are a legal remedy. Specific performance is an equitable remedy. So if you don't know what the contract says, you're not going to know that they can make you buy this property and keep the 50 grand, because you breached the contract, they get that, and then they get this. So now you have to pay $50,000 for the property. And then you say, well, wait a minute. That $50,000, that was my earnest money deposit. That comes off the purchase price. Yeah, that comes off the purchase price if you decide to buy the property through the terms of the contract. But we're going to take the $50,000 not as money towards the purchase price. We're going to take it as liquidated damages because you're in breach. And now we're going to force you to buy the property anyway. So now you're paying $550,000 for the property that you didn't want to buy in the first place because you didn't understand that one particular contract. All right, Malls, that is, if you want to bring us back up to the regular screen, there we go. So that is the things you need to look for in the contracts for these auctions. I'll give it to you again. You're looking for the events of default, and then you're looking for the remedies of default. And then you're understanding the difference in law, the difference between legal damages and equitable damages. Legal damages are money. If I hurt you, I'm going to owe you money, and the damages are $50,000. That's the legal remedy. That is legal. Legal damages can be solved with money. Equitable damages are solved with acts. They make you do something. I used the example the other day of the what's it, 209A restraining orders, temporary injunctions, permanent injunctions. Those are equitable remedies. They get you to stop doing something. Breaches of you are running out there telling everybody that so and so wears dresses, And that guy considers it defamatory, so he takes you to court. He requires the court to force you to cease and desist those slanderous statements. That's an equitable remedy. In real estate, an equitable remedy is specific performance. That's why you'll hear liquidated damages, money, specific performances, or equities, or remedies in equity, actions, specific performance. That one line cooks your goose. That one line made me tell my partners we're not doing this deal. There's no way we are doing this deal, because if we put in $500,000, we have to buy that thing for $500,000. We have to. Even if they decide they're just going to take our earnest money, they could force us to buy a property we don't want to buy. Boy, these contracts are written so one-sided. Be very, very careful if ever you sign into that. Is equitable binding? Absolutely. You sue for it. A court tells you have to do it, and then it's binding. So any type of these actions still require, you're still required to go to court over them. You're going to have a trial, and then if the judge finds against you, yeah, it's binding. You own it. You own it. So that's how this works. And I just wanted to educate everybody here today on that one aspect. I'm not too keen on these auction contracts. They're becoming very prevalent. Try to get out ahead of them. If you don't get out ahead of them, get behind them. Okay, I'm not trying to be funny, but we believe that this deal is not going to be completed because of all the stuff going on. And we think it's going to end up back in the hands of the bank, and they're going to be calling us, and our price is not $500,000. And let me tell you why. There's something else that happened on this walkthrough that I want everybody to be totally aware of. When we were doing the walkthrough, and understand how the walkthrough is done, there are three of us partners on this deal. One partner was at the property with the auctioneer, with all the other people, and that is he had us on Zoom. So myself and the third partner, we're sitting in our homes walking through this property, and we're also listening to all the conversations that are going on. And there's one conversation where the guy says, at the facility, he says, there's a demolition order on this property right now. And my other partner says, time out. Did he just say that there's a demolition order on this property? And I said, yeah, I heard the same thing. He says, that means that we buy this thing tomorrow, and the next day the city shows up with bulldozers to take the place down. And there's nothing we can do to stop them. There's nothing we can do. Honest to Pete, that's exactly what that means. So we ended up having a nice long conversation with 5 members of the city, elected officials, employees of the city, corporate counsel, and we had a great conversation about all the issues that were going on in this property. We were the only party interested in that property who actually went to that level of interest. We found out stuff about the abutters, about easements, about back taxes, and also about the demo order. And so the Corporation Council sent us a letter so we would have it in writing. Let me see if I can read it to you. I'm on the wrong computer. Here it is, right here. Let me see if I can pop this bad boy up. Okay, I tell you what, hold on, everybody. Let me see if I can. I did not plan on showing this to you, but let me see if I can pull it up. Where are you? All right, Molly, let me see if I can share my screen again. StreamYard video. Okay. Let's try this, Molly. Share screen. Okay, good. Watch this, everybody. Here we go. Okay, so this is a letter from the corporate counsel. This is from the conversation that we had with them. There's one particular thing that I want you to all see in here that I'm going to ask on the sidebar. If anybody can pick up the one thing that made us think, oh, brother, why would we want to buy this particular problem? Let me show it to you. Okay. You requested a letter outlining the City of Springfield's process for pursuing a complaint for demolition and administrative fines, specifically as it pertains to this property. The city is willing to work with a purchaser who intends to rehabilitate the structure to a usable status. If the property is sold to a purchaser with an intent to repair or improve the property, the city will request that that purchaser enter into an agreed order to repair in the circuit court case. The agreed order to repair is a collaborative effort to agree timeline to abate the violations at issue and move forward with improvements of the property. As a part of the agreed order, the city will agree not to pursue demolition provided the owner of the property is meeting the repairs outlined by the order. So, and as it goes on a little bit more. So, let me see. I just stopped the share. Let me go back over to StreamYard. Okay. So, anybody see something in there that that makes them concerned about why you would want to buy this property? And what it was is the wording that a couple of things, but the first one that got me was the you have to enter into an agreed order on day one. In other words, you get the foreclosure, you get the auction, you get all of those triggers off your back, and as soon as you do, you have to enter into a new gun to your head that says, if you don't perform under these terms, we're going to bulldoze your property. All right, as for those of you who've done renovations, you know how tough it is, how things go wrong, how things don't do what they're supposed to be done. You understand that this is an agreed order from the city. Things can go wrong, and if they do, these guys are breathing down your neck. That's a tough way to own a renovation. That's a tough thing to enter into from that standpoint. And of course, everybody's all friendly when you first meet, but after you got to plan for the divorce. And if the city, if there's a change in administration in the city, which there has been in this city, and we watched it happen. Jeff Kelly, one of the partners on this, has done a fantastic job about following what's going on in this city. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this property that you would not want to find out once you purchase it at auction. But that's the court. Yeah, the court. Not only that, John, not the court as contractor, the city attorney as court attractor decider in chief. A demolition order. It's not like, okay, let's go to court and talk about it. No, we've issued the order. It's all set to go. Your opportunity to be heard has come and gone. You would still be at their mercy. Exactly, Todd. And Todd, what do? And just so you guys can really understand what I've been teaching here today is, if they threaten that they're coming in tomorrow to demolish your property, what's your remedy? What is your remedy? You have to grab an attorney to go running down to the courthouse to get a judge to sign off on an emergency order for a temporary injunction, which is an equitable remedy to get them to stop doing something. No legal remedy. Demolition, you can figure that out later, but you want them to stop demolishing your property that you put already $500,000 into, but you couldn't keep up with their time frame. You want to get them to stop the demolition. You have to get the court to issue an injunction and have them stop the actions. Yeah, they love you until they buy. Yeah, exactly. Are satanic. Cities are satanic. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you, Todd. I better not say it on live television, but yeah, you would have seen through a lot of the baloney that was going on in that call. I'm old enough to know this is everybody's your friend. Everybody's your friend. So, all right, that's all I wanted to teach you today. I want you all to get an understanding. Let me see. We want to see you in Las Vegas. Yeah, guys, we're doing another hotel to apartment conversion summit teachings. They just keep getting better. These are going to be fantastic. We've got the one coming up in Las Vegas, beginning of November, 3 days. Dave Peters, Alex Cartwright, myself, I will be teaching once again, and we'll be showing you how you can become a member of our cohorts so that you can become partners with us and you can be one of these owners. Our first deal, it hasn't even been 2 months, but our first deal, we're waiting for the final version of the purchase and sale contract to come back, and we'll be under contract. We'll be under contract for a 145 door apartment hotel that we're going to convert to apartments, and it should be fantastic. And all members of the cohort are watching this happen, and several members of them will become partners in the deal. And that's how we're going to grow everyone's portfolio, is by we're all working together to partner into it. It's not like one person's going to be the lead and to go out and raise money with GPs, not anything like that. That's not our model whatsoever. That is a multifamily marketing model for multifamily investors, where only the people at the top make the money. That's not the way we're structuring this. We're structuring it so that everybody that's into these groups are partners, and that we work together. And then we turn around. We have other deals going on at the same time. We should have another deal under contract right behind this one. So there's always deals going on. I've never seen so much activity in the multifamily business as I have with the hotel to apartment conversion. It's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I saw one in my hometown the other day, actually a town up from where I am, and it was like a 12-unit motel, and I saw that it had just been purchased. I was like a week late. I just saw in the newspaper they're turning them into a one-bedroom units. I thought, damn it, good for him. That guy's going to make some good money on that deal. I know he is. Okay. Let's see, Todd. Whatever they tell you, unless you can convince them of your ideas, type it. Okay. Don't get it, Todd. That's Todd. Okay, let me see. There it is. Whatever they tell you, unless you convince them of your idea. Yeah, but of course they all love your ideas, and of course there was a little tract of land between our property and the neighborhood, and the it's like the alderwoman wanted to get her name on like a memorial little walkway with her name on it. Sure, it's always fine when it's not their money. They love to spend your money too. So that is it, folks. Good to see you all. Love to see you in Vegas. Molly or Deb, can you? Oh, there it is right there. There's the link. I apologize. There are the tickets. Tickets are going on sale. You ask anybody, folks, that went to the last one. It's like sipping from a fire hose. It's all great stuff, and it's just a lot of fun. Great people. I only work with great people. So, all right, everybody, great to see you all, and I will see you again next week. Once I get I'm back on track. 2 weeks in Ireland. 2 weeks in Ireland, I just got to tell you, just so you guys, especially those of you that know me, I love to play my golf. 2 weeks in Ireland. 8 holes of golf. Yes, you heard that correctly. I did not say 8 rounds of golf. I said 8 holes. I couldn't even get the 9th hole in, okay? The rain was coming sideways, and it was unbelievable. I hit this one shot. My second shot, I was about 200 yards out. I nailed it perfectly. It was going right for the pin, and rain all over my glasses. I figured, okay, I'll just drive up to the hole and get my putter out. I get up there. Yeah, I was halfway. No, I was not quite. It wasn't Doonbeg I was playing. And I wonder if that G Fox faux show knows what I mean. Doonbeg is one of my favorite courses. It's 9 holes out along the ocean and 9 holes back. So, you play back towards the clubhouse. This one was a typical, two rounds of 9. You end up back at the pro shop. But I get to the green, take out my putter, and I look on the green. My ball's nowhere to be seen. Like, what the hell happened? That was going right for the pin. I look and it's 90 yards back because the wind blew it all the way back. That's how bad it was. That's why I only got 8 holes of golf. 8 holes. Every other time we were set to play, we got rained out. I think they said, we've had 26 holes, 26 days of rain in the last 30. Like, I'm gone. Best of luck to you. So I was gone. I cut out early. So come back so I can be with you folks. All right, everybody. Great to see you all. And I will see you next week. And for those of you that are in the hotel to apartment cohort, I'm going to see you in about 20 minutes for our weekly meeting. And we got tons of stuff to go over. It's going to be a blast. There's so much activity. It's going to be fun. All right, everybody. Good to see you. Always a pleasure.